خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فطور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا نذير فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير فاعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير.
Surah 67, Al-Mulk. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. Blessed and supreme is He in whose hand is the sovereignty, and He has full power over everything. 2. He who has created death and life, so that He may try you and demonstrate to yourselves which of you is better in deeds. And He is the all-glorious with irresistible might, whose will none can frustrate, the all-forgiving, who forgives many of His servants' sins so that they learn from being tested. 3. He who has created 7 heavens in harmony. You do not see any fault or incongruity in the creation of the All-Merciful. Look yet again. Can you see any rifts? 4. Then look again and yet again, and however often you do so, with whatever instruments to aid your looking, your sight will fall back to you dazzled by the splendor of God's creation, and awed and weakened, being unable to discern any flaw to support any excuse for claiming that there could be any sharing in the dominion of the universe. 5. And indeed, we have adorned the lowest heaven, the heaven of the world, with lamps, stars, and made out of them missiles to drive away devils. And for them we have prepared in the hereafter the punishment of the blaze. 6. And also for those who disbelieve in their Lord is the punishment of hell. How evil a destination to arrive at. 7. When they are cast into it, they will hear its raucous breath, by which they are sucked in as it boils up, almost bursting with fury. Every time a group is cast into it, its keepers will ask them, "Did no warner ever come to you?" 9. They will say, "Yes, indeed, a warner came to us, but we denied him and said to him, 'God has never sent down anything. You are only in a great error.' They will say, 'If only we had listened to him or reasoned and distinguished what was to our benefit from what was to our harm and acted accordingly, we would not now be among the companions of the blaze.' 11. Thus will they acknowledge their sins, but God's mercy will then be far from the companions of the blaze. 12. As for those who stand in awe of their Lord, though unseen beyond their perception. For them there is forgiveness to bring unforeseen blessings and a great reward.
وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاصبا فستعلمون كيف نذير ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نكير أولم يروا إلى الطير فوقهم صافات ويقبضن ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن إنه بكل شيء بصير أمن هذا الذي هو جند لكم ينصركم من دون الرحمن إن الكافرون إلا في غرور أمن هذا الذي يرزقكم إن أمسك رزقه بل لجوا في عتو ونفور أفمن يمشي مكبا على وجهه أهدى أمن يمشي سويا على صراط مستقيم قل هو الذي أنشأكم وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون قل هو الذي ذرأكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين.
"13. Whether you keep concealed what you intend to say or speak it out loud, he surely has full knowledge of all that lies in the bosoms. 14. Is it conceivable that one who creates should not know? He is the all-subtle, penetrating to most minute dimensions of all things, the all-aware. 15. He it is who has made the earth subservient to you, as if docile animal. So go about through its shoulders, uplands, and eat of his provision. But be ever mindful that to him will be the resurrection. 16. And yet, are you secure that he who is above everything will not cause the earth to swallow you up then, when it is in a state of commotion? 17. Or are you secure that he who is above everything will not send against you a deadly sandstorm? Then you will know how my warning is. 18. Indeed, those before them denied the truth and were destroyed. So reflect on how awesome was my disowning them. 19. Have they never considered the birds above them? Flying in lines with wings, they spread out and fold in. Nothing holds them except the all-merciful. He indeed sees everything very well. 20. Who is there that will be an army for you, a means of strength and support, to help you to survive or succeed, apart from the all-merciful? The unbelievers are surely in nothing but delusion. 21. Who is there that can provide for you if he should withhold his provision? No, but they persist in disdain and aversion, in obstinate flight from truth and reality. 22. Now consider, is one who goes prone upon his face with no breadth or depth to his line of sight, barely seeing what is touching his face, better guided, or one who goes upright with a clear line of sight to what is ahead of him on a straight path? 23. Say, he it is who has brought you into being and endowed you with hearing and eyes and hearts. How little you give thanks. 24. Say, he it is who has multiplied you on the earth, and it is to him you will be gathered to give account of your life on that earth. 25. They say, questioning with derision, when is this promise of gathering to be fulfilled? If you are truthful in your claim. 26. Say, the knowledge of that and true and full knowledge of all things is with God, and I am but a plain warner.
فلما رأوه زلفة سيئت وجوه الذين كفروا وقيل هذا الذي كنتم به تدعون قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم قل هو الرحمن آمنا به وعليه توكلنا فستعلمون من هو في ضلال مبين قل أرأيتم إن أصبح ماؤكم غورا فمن يأتيكم بماء معين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون وإن لك لأجرا غير ممنون وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم فستبصر ويبصرون بأيكم المفتون إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين فلا تطع المكذبين ودوا لو تدهن فيدهنون ولا تطع كل حلاف مهين هماز مشاء بنميم مناع للخير معتد أثيم عتل بعد ذلك زنيم أن كان ذا مال وبنين إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين.
27. But then, when they see it close at hand, the faces of those who disbelieve turn black with grief, and it will be said to them who had been so mocking, this is what you were calling for derisively. 28. Say, have you ever considered this? Either God destroys me and those in my company, or he has mercy on us and enables us to triumph. Then who is there that can protect the unbelievers from a painful punishment? 29. Say, he is the all-merciful. In him we believe, and in him we put our trust. So you will soon come to know who it is that is lost in obvious error. 30. Say, have you ever considered this? If your water should vanish underground, leaving you with no source of water, who is there that can bring to you a source to replace it of gushing water? Surah 69, Al-Qalam. The name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. Noon, by the pen and what they write with it line by line. 2. You are not, by the grace of your Lord, a man possessed. 3. And yours, for sure, is a reward constant and beyond measure. 4. You are surely of a sublime character, and do act by a sublime pattern of conduct. 5. Soon you will see, and they will see. 6. Which of you is afflicted with madness? 7. Surely your Lord is he who knows best who is astray from his way, and he knows best those who are rightly guided. 8. So pay no heed to the desires of those who persistently deny God's message. 9. They wish you to compromise with them in matters of faith, so they would compromise with you. 10. Pay no heed to any contemptible oath-maker who swears much with no consideration of truth and no will to act on his word. 11. A defamer, circulating slander in all directions. 12. Who hinders the doing of good, transgressor of all bonds of sense and decency, one addicted to sinning. 13. Cruel and ignoble, and in addition to all that, morally corrupt. 14. Because he has wealth and many sons. 15. When our revelations are recited to him, he says, fables of the ancients.
سنسمه على الخرطوم إنا بلوناهم كما بلونا أصحاب الجنة إذ أقسموا ليصرمنها مصبحين ولا يستثنون فطاف عليها طائف من ربك وهم نائمون فأصبحت كالصريم فتنادوا مصبحين أن اغدوا على حرثكم إن كنتم صارمين فانطلقوا وهم يتخافتون ألا يدخلنها اليوم عليكم مسكين فغدوا على حرد قادرين فلما رأوها قالوا إنا لضالون بل نحن محرومون قال أوسطهم ألم أقل لكم لولا تسبحون قالوا سبحان ربنا إنا كنا ظالمين فأقبل بعضهم على بعض يتلاومون قالوا يا ويلنا إنا كنا طاغين عسى ربنا أن يبدلنا خيرا منها إنا إلى ربنا راغبون كذلك العذاب ولعذاب الآخرة أكبر لو كانوا يعلمون إن للمتقين عند ربهم جنات النعيم أفنجعل المسلمين كالمجرمين ما لكم كيف تحكمون أم لكم كتاب فيه تدرسون إن لكم فيه لما تخيرون أم لكم أيمان علينا بالغة إلى يوم القيامة إن لكم لما تحكمون سلهم أيهم بذلك زعيم أم لهم شركاء فليأتوا بشركائهم إن كانوا صادقين يوم يكشف عن ساق ويدعون إلى السجود فلا يستطيعون.
16. We will brand him on the nose to mark indelibly in his disgrace. For sure, we try them with drought as they rely on their wealth and children. We have granted them and reject our call, just as we try to owners of the garden. They swore that they would assuredly harvest its produce the next day. They made no allowance in their oaths, being oblivious of the rights of the needy and oblivious of God's will. 19. Then a visitation from your Lord encompassed it while they were sleeping. So by morning it had become bleak. So they cried out to one another, having rising for the morning, hurry to your cultivated land, if you mean to harvest its produce. So they set out, confiding to one another, take care that no destitute enter there on you today. So early they went, firmly resolved in intent to collect the harvest and not share it with the destitute. But when they saw it, they said, we have assuredly arrived at the wrong place. Then, when they realized that it was indeed their garden, no, rather we are made destitute. The one more equitable among them said, did I not say to you, will you not glorify God? They said, all glorified is our Lord. Indeed, we have done wrong by regarding ourselves as self-sufficient and not dependent on him. Then they approached one another, reproaching themselves. They said, oh, woe to us! We were habituated to arrogance and rebellion. 32. It may be that our Lord will grant us something better than this instead. Surely to our Lord do we turn with hope. There is an example of the punishment, such as the ingrate, rebellious may be to endure in the world. And certainly the punishment of the hereafter is greater, if they but knew. 34. For the God-revering pious, there are gardens of bounty and blessing with their Lord. Do we ever treat those who have submitted to God like the disbelieving criminals, who have submitted only to their own lusts and fancies? 36. What is the matter with you that you can judge so? How can you judge that all are valued alike in God's sight, whether they are Muslims, wholly submit to God or not? 37. Or do you have a book revealed by God that you read, wherein you find that you will indeed have whatever you prefer to have? 39. Or do you have a covenant with us, confirmed by us on oath as binding until the day of resurrection, that you will have whatever you judge should be yours? 40. Ask them, seeing that they do not have such a covenant, which of them will watch for that? 41. Or do they have partners with God who guarantee them whatever they wish for themselves? Then let them produce their patterns if they are truthful in their claim. 42. On the day when the truth will be manifest and they are in trouble and being called to prostrate, they will be incapable of it. End of the page.
خاشعة أبصارهم ترهقهم ذلة وقد كانوا يدعون إلى السجود وهم سالمون فذرني ومن يكذب بهذا الحديث سنستدرجهم من حيث لا يعلمون وأملي لهم إن كيدي متين أم تسألهم أجرا فهم من مغرم مثقلون أم عندهم الغيب فهم يكتبون فاصبر لحكم ربك ولا تكن كصاحب الحوت إذ نادى وهو مكظوم لولا أن تداركه نعمة من ربه لنبذ بالعراء وهو مذموم فاجتباه ربه فجعله من الصالحين وإن يكاد الذين كفروا ليزلقونك بأبصارهم لما سمعوا الذكر ويقولون إنه لمجنون وما هو إلا ذكر للعالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحاقة ما الحاقة وما أدراك ما الحاقة كذبت ثمود وعاد بالقارعة فأما ثمود فأهلكوا بالطاغية وأما عاد فأهلكوا بريح صرصر عاتية سخرها عليهم 7 ليال و8 أيام حسوما فترى القوم فيها سرعى كأنهم أعجاز نخل خاوية فهل ترى لهم من باقية
43. Downcast will be their eyes, with abasement overwhelming them. Assuredly they were called to prostrate, while they were yet safe and whole in the world, but they did not. 44. So leave me with such as deny this word, the Qur'an. We will lead them on to perdition, step by step, from they do not know. 45. But I grant respite to them, so that may mend their ways. My scheme, all that is willed for them, is firm and unfailing. 46. Or is it that you ask them for a wage in return for your calling them to our word, and so they were weighted down with debt? 47. Or do they have the authority to determine what will happen in the future, that they prescribe and stipulate what is to come and how they are to be judged? 48. So wait patiently for your Lord's judgment, and do not be like the companion of the fish, when he called out, choking inwardly with distress. 49. If there had not reached him grace from his Lord, who accepted his repentance, he would indeed have been cast forth on the desert shore, being reproached. 50. But his Lord chose him and enabled him to be among the specially chosen, righteous servants. 51. Those who disbelieve would, if they could, strike you down with their looks because of hatred and enmity when they hear the reminder and they say, surely he is a man possessed. 52. But it is not other than a reminder for all beings. Surah 69. Al-Haqqa. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. The sure reality. What is the sure reality? And what enables you to perceive what the sure reality is? The tribes of Thamud and Ad denied the sudden mighty strike. 5. Now, as for the tribe of Thamud, they were destroyed by the overwhelming catastrophe. And the tribe of Ad, they were destroyed with a furious, roaring windstorm, which God made to prevail against them for 7 nights and 8 days, uninterruptedly, so that you could have seen people lying overthrown in it, as though they were hollow trunks of palm trees. 8. Now, do you see any of them remaining? End of the page.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وجاء فرعون ومن قبله والمؤتفكات بالخاطئة فعصوا رسول ربهم فأخذت الرابية إنا لما طغى الماء حملناكم في الجارية لنجعلها لكم تذكرة وتعيها أذن واعية فإذا نفخ في الصور نفخة واحدة وحملت الأرض والجبال فدكتا دكة واحدة فيومئذ وقعت الواقعة وانشقت السماء فهي يومئذ واهية والملك على أرجائها ويحمل عرش ربك فوقهم يومئذ ثمانية يومئذ تعرضون لا تخفى منكم خافية فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فيقول هاؤم اقرءوا كتابيه إني ظننت أني ملاق حسابيه فهو في عيشة راضية في جنة عالية قطوفها كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما أسلفتم في الأيام الخالية وأما من أوتي كتابه بشماله فيقول يا ليتني لم أوت كتابيه ولم أدر ما حسابيه يا ليتها كانت القاضية ما أغنى عني ماليه هلك عني سلطانيه خذوه فغلوه ثم الجحيم صلوه ثم في سلسلة ذرعها 70 ذراعا فاسلكوه إنه كان لا يؤمن بالله العظيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين
9. And there was the Pharaoh and many other communities before him, and the cities overthrown where Lot's people lived. All of them indulged in the unpardonable sins. 10. And they rebelled against their Lord's messenger, sent to each to warn them. And so he took hold of them with a severe seizing. It was we who, when the water of the flood in time of Noah burst beyond limits, carried you, an example, your believing ancestors in the on-moving ark. 12. So that we might make it a reminder for you to be transmitted from generation to generation, and that heeding ears might take it in and retain it. 13. And when the last hour comes and the trumpet is blown with a single blast. 14. And the earth and the mountains and on it are removed with and burst within and are crushed with a single crushing. 15. It is on that day that the event to happen will happen. 16. And the sky split asunder, and so on that day will be most frail. 17. And the angels will be at its ends, and above them 8 will bear the throne of your Lord on that day. 18. On that day you will be arraigned for judgment, and no secret of yours will remain hidden. 19. And as for him who was given his record in his right hand, he will say, here, take and read my record. 20. I surely knew that one day I would meet my account. 21. And so he will be in a state of life pleasing to him, in a lofty garden. 23. With clusters of fruit within easy reach. 24. Eat and drink to your heart's content, for all that you sent ahead in advance in days past in anticipation of this day. 25. But as for him whose record is given in his left hand, he will say, ah, would that I had never been given my record. 26. And that I had known nothing of my account. 27. Oh, would that death had been and nothing thereafter had followed. 28. My wealth has availed me nothing. 29. And all my authority, my power over all that I had has gone from me. 30. And the command will come, lay hold of him and shackle him by the neck, the hands, and the feet. 31. Then in the blazing flame let him to roast. 32. Then fasten him with a chain, the length of which is 70 cubits. 33. For he surely did not believe in God the Supreme. 34. and did not urge the feeding of the destitute.
فليس له اليوم هاهنا حميم ولا طعام إلا من غسلين لا يأكله إلا الخاطئون فلا أقسم بما تبصرون وما لا تبصرون إنه لقول رسول كريم وما هو بقول شاعر قليلا ما تؤمنون ولا بقول كاهن قليلا ما تذكرون تنزيل من رب العالمين ولو تقول علينا بعض الأقاويل أخذنا منه باليمين ثم لقطعنا منه الوتين فما منكم من أحد عنه حاجزين وإنه لتذكرة للمتقين وإنا لنعلم أن منكم مكذبين وإنه لحسرة على الكافرين وإنه لحق اليقين فسبح باسم ربك العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سأل سائل بعذاب واقع للكافرين ليس له دافع من الله ذي المعارج تعرج الملائكة والروح إليه في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة فاصبر صبرا جميلا إنهم يرونه بعيدا ونراه قريبا يوم تكون السماء كالمهل وتكون الجبال كالعهن ولا يسأل حميم حميما
35. And so he will have none to befriend him this day, nor any food except foul pus. 37. None eat it except the sinful, those guilty of denying God or of associating partners with him and oppressing people. 38. No, indeed, I swear by all that you can see. 39. And all that you cannot see. 40. It is surely the speech conveyed to you by an illustrious noble messenger, Gabriel. 41. And not a poet's speech, composed in a poet's mind. How little is what you believe. It is so limited by the poverty of your souls and hearts. 42. Nor is it a soothsayer's speech, pretending to foretell events. How little it is that you reflect and be mindful. It is so limited by the poverty of your minds. 43. No, indeed, it is a revelation being sent down in parts from the Lord of the worlds. 44. If he, the messenger, had dared to fabricate some false sayings in attribution to us. 45. We would have certainly seized him with might. 46. Thereafter, we would have certainly cut his life vein. 47. Then not one from among you could have shielded and saved him from us. 48. And it is a sure reminder, bringing hope and guidance for the God-revering pious. 49. We are most certainly aware that among you are some who deny it. 50. It will surely be a bitter regret for the unbelievers. 51. And this, the whole Qur'an, is surely the certain truth. 52. So glorify the name of your Lord, the Supreme. Surat al-Ma'arij, the stairs of ascent. In the name of God, the all-merciful, the all-compassionate. A questioner, in mocking denial of the day of resurrection, has asked about the punishment certain to befall. 2. And prepared for the unbelievers, none can ward it off from them. 3. It is from God who are the stairs of ascent. 4. The angels and the Spirit ascend to him thereby in the day the measure of which is 50,000 years of your normal worldly years. 5. So, O Messenger, endure their insolence with becoming patience. 6. They see it, the punishment, as far off beyond their reason. 7. But we see it as a certain to come and near at hand. 8. The day when the sky will be like molten metal. 9. And the mountains will be like multicolored tufts of wool. 10. And no loyal friend will ask after his friend.
يبصرونهم يود المجرم لو يفتدي من عذاب يومئذ ببنيه وصاحبته وأخيه وفصيلته التي تؤويه ومن في الأرض جميعا ثم ينجيه كلا إنها لظى نزاعة للشوى تدعو من أدبر وتولى وجمع فأوعى إن الإنسان خلق هلوعا إذا مسه الشر جزوعا وإذا مسه الخير منوعا إلا المصلين الذين هم على صلاتهم دائمون والذين في أموالهم حق معلوم للسائل والمحروم والذين يصدقون بيوم الدين والذين هم من عذاب ربهم مشفقون إن عذاب ربهم غير مأمون والذين هم لفروجهم حافظون إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين فمن ابتغى وراء ذلك فأولئك هم العادون والذين هم لأماناتهم وعهدهم راعون والذين هم بشهاداتهم قائمون والذين هم على صلاتهم يحافظون أولئك في جنات مكرمون فما للذين كفروا قبلك مهطعين عن اليمين وعن الشمال عزين أيطمع كل امرئ منهم أن يدخل جنة نعيم كلا إنا خلقناهم مما يعلمون
11. Though they will be in sight of each other, every disbelieving criminal will yearn to ransom himself from the punishment of the day, even by his sons. 12. And his wife and his brother. 13. And all his kinsfolk who sheltered him. 14. And whoever else is on the earth, all of them, so that he might then save himself. 15. By no means. It is a furiously flaming fire. 16. Tearing away the skin. 17. It will call to itself those who return their backs on the call to faith and turn away from worship of God. 18. And amass wealth and withhold it from spending in God's cause and for the needy. 19. Surely human has been created with a restless, impatient disposition. 20. Fretful when evil visits him. 21. And niggardly when good visits him. 21. Except those who are devoted to the prayer. 23. Those who are constant in their prayer, and those in whose wealth there is a right acknowledged by them. 25. For such as having no means other than begging, and such as are denied help by cause having self-respect, they cannot beg and are thought to be well off. 26. And those who affirm as true the day of judgment. 27. And those who are fearful of their Lord's punishment and live accordingly. 28. Indeed, their Lord's punishment is that of which no one can ever feel secure. 29. And those who strictly guard their private parts and their chastity and modesty. 29. 30. save from their spouses, or as a permission for men, those bondsmaids whom their right hands possess, for with regard to them they are free from blame. 31. But whoever seeks beyond that, such are those who exceed the bounds set by God. 32. And those who are faithful to their trusts, which either God or society or an individual places in their charge, and to their pledges, between them and God are other persons or society. 33. And those who are upholders of right and justice by bearing true witness and without avoiding giving testimony. 34. And those who safeguard their prayers, including all the rites of which they are constituted. 35. Those will be in gardens, high honored. 36. What is the matter with those who disbelieve, that with the intent of mockery they hasten on towards you, with staring eyes fixed on you? 37. From the right and from the left, in crowds. 38. Does every one of them covet admission into the garden of bounty and blessing, regarding himself as supremely deserving paradise without the effort of faith? 39. By no means. We have surely created them out of a simple matter which they know very well.
فلا أقسم برب المشارق والمغارب إنا لقادرون على أن نبدل خيرا منهم وما نحن بمسبوقين فذرهم يخوضوا ويلعبوا حتى يلاقوا يومهم الذي يوعدون يوم يخرجون من الأجداث سراعا كأنهم إلى نصب يوفضون خاشعة أبصارهم ترهقهم ذلة ذلك اليوم الذي كانوا يوعدون بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه أن أنذر قومك من قبل أن يأتيهم عذاب أليم قال يا قوم إني لكم نذير مبين أن اعبدوا الله واتقوه وأطيعون يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويؤخركم إلى أجل مسمى إن أجل الله إذا جاء لا يؤخر لو كنتم تعلمون قال رب إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا فلم يزدهم دعائي إلا فرارا وإني كلما دعوتهم لتغفر لهم جعلوا أصابهم في آذانهم واستغشوا ثيابهم وأصروا واستكبروا استكبارا ثم إني دعوتهم جهارا ثم إني أعلنت لهم وأسررت لهم إسرارا فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا
40. So I swear by the Lord of the points of sunrise and sunset, that surely we are able, 41, to replace them with others better than them in respect of faith in God and in their worship of Him. And we are not to be frustrated in doing what we will. 42. So leave them plunging in their falsehoods and amusements until the day that they have been promised. 43. The day when they come forth from their graves in haste as if they were hurrying to a goal. 44. Downcast will be their eyes, abasement overwhelming them. That is the day that they have been repeatedly promised. Surat Al-Nuh, Noah. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. We sent Noah as a messenger to his people and commanded him, warn your people before a painful punishment comes to them. 2. He said, my people, I am indeed a plain warner to you, and I urge you. 3. Worship God alone, and keep from disobedience to him and reverence for him and piety, and obey me. 4. So that he may forgive you your sins and which you have committed so far, and grant you respite until a term appointed by him, instead of destroying you because of your sins. The term appointed by God when it comes is never deferred, if you but knew. After long ages spent in conveying God's message, he turned to his Lord in prayer and he said, My Lord, I have surely called my people night and day. 6. But my call has only caused them to flee more and more from accepting the truth. 7. And every time I have called them so that you may forgive them, they have thrust their fingers in their ears and wrapped themselves up in their garments and grown obstinate and more arrogant in refusing my call. 8. Then I have called them in a loud, emphatic manner. 9. Then again, I have called them in public, and I have spoken to them confidentially in private. 10. I have said, Ask your Lord for forgiveness, for surely he has always been all forgiving.
يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله 7 سماوات طباقا وجعل القمر فيهن نورا وجعل الشمس سراجا والله أنبتكم من الأرض نباتا ثم يعيدكم فيها ويخرجكم إخراجا والله جعل لكم الأرض بساطا لتسلكوا منها سبلا فجاجا قال نوح رب إنهم عصوني واتبعوا من لم يزده ماله وولده إلا خسارا ومكروا مكرا كبارا وقالوا لا تذرن آلهتكم ولا تذرن ودا ولا سواعا ولا يغوث ويعوق ونسرا وقد أضلوا كثيرا ولا تزد الظالمين إلا ضلالا مما خطيئاتهم أغرقوا فأدخلوا نارا فلم يجدوا لهم من دون الله أنصارا وقال نوح رب لا تذر على الأرض من الكافرين ديارا إنك إن تذرهم يضلوا عبادك ولا يلدوا إلا فاجرا كفارا رب اغفر لي ولوالدي ولمن دخل بيتي مؤمنا والمؤمنين والمؤمنات ولا تزد الظالمين إلا تبارا.
11. He will release the rain-bearing clouds in the sky over you with abundance of rain. 12. And will strengthen you by increasing you in wealth and children, and make for you gardens, and make for you running waters. 13. What is the matter with you that you do not want to see majesty in God, to worship him? 14. Seeing that he has created you in different successive stages. 15. Do you not see how God has created the 7 heavens in harmony? 16. And he has set up within them the moon as a light reflected, and has set up the sun as a lamp. 17. And God has caused you to grow from earth like a plant in a mode of growth particular to you. 18. Thereafter he will return you into it, and he will bring you forth from it in resurrection. 19. God has made for you the earth a wide expanse. 20. So that you may move on it along the ways through the mountains and valleys. 21. Noah turned to his Lord and said, "My Lord, they have disobeyed me and followed those whose wealth and children have increased them only in loss and self-ruin. And they have made tremendous schemes to prevent my call and people's acceptance of it." 23. And they have said, "Do not abandon your deities. Do not ever abandon in particular Wad or nor Suwa nor Yahuth and Ya'uq and Nasr." 24. And what they have indeed led many astray, and they have indeed led many astray. And O God, increase not these wrongdoers in anything but further straying by way of a punishment for all that they have done. 25. And because of their unforgivable sins, they were drowned in the flood and were made to enter a punishing fire. And so they were found none who could help them against God. 26. Noah also said, "My Lord, do not leave on the earth any from among the unbelievers dwelling therein." 27. If you do leave them, they will lead your servants astray, and they will beget none but shameless and dissolute, thankless unbelievers. 28. My Lord, forgive me and my parents and everyone who joins my household as a believer, and all the believing men and believing women, and do not increase the wrongdoers in anything but ruin.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أوحي إلي أنه استمع نفر من الجن فقالوا إنا سمعنا قرآنا عجبا يهدي إلى الرشد فآمنا به ولن نشرك بربنا أحدا وأنه تعالى جد ربنا ما اتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا وأنه كان يقول سفيهنا على الله شططا وأنا ظننا أن لن تقول الإنس والجن على الله كذبا وأنه كان رجال من الإنس يعوذون برجال من الجن فزادوهم رهقا وأنهم ظنوا كما ظننتم أن لن يبعث الله أحدا وأنا لمسنا السماء فوجدناها ملئت حرسا شديدا وشهبا وأنا كنا نقعد منها مقاعد للسمع فمن يستمع الآن يجد له شهابا رصدا وأنا لا ندري أشر أريد بمن في الأرض أم أراد بهم ربهم رشدا وأنا منا الصالحون ومنا دون ذلك كنا طرائق قددا وأنا ظننا أن لن نعجز الله في الأرض ولن نعجزه هربا وأنا لما سمعنا الهدى آمنا به فمن يؤمن بربه فلا يخاف بخسا ولا رهقا.
Surat al-Jinn, the Jinn. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. Say, O Messenger, it has been revealed to me that a company of the Jinn gave ear to my recitation of the Qur'an. Then, when they returned to their people, they said, "We have indeed heard a wonderful Qur'an." 2. Guiding to what is right in belief and action, and so we have believed in it, and we will never associate any as partner with our Lord. 3. And he, exalted is the majesty of our Lord, has taken neither consort nor child. 4. Whereas the foolish among us has uttered an enormity against God. 5. And we are mistaken when we thought that humankind and the jinn would never speak a falsehood against God. 6. But what we have come to see that there have indeed been men from among humankind who took refuge in some men from among jinn. And so the former increased them, the latter in conceit, rebellion, and wrongdoing. 7. And they, those men, have thought, as you have thought, that God would never raise anyone as messenger from among them. 8. But now when we sought to reach heaven, we found it filled with stern guards and flaming fires, shooting stars. 9. We used to be established in position to overhear its inhabitants. But now whoever attempts to listen finds a flaming fire and wait for him. 10. We, being prevented from overhearing, did not know whether evil is intended for those who live on the earth, or their Lord wills for them right guidance and good. 11. There are among us such as are righteous in conduct and apt to believe, and there are those who are otherwise. We have been sects with a divergent path. 12. We have come to know that we can by no means frustrate God and his will on the earth, nor can we frustrate him by flight. 13. And when we have heard the guidance embodied in the Qur'an, we immediately believed in it. Whoever believes in his Lord has no fear of loss, of being wronged in his return for his faith, and for the good deeds required by faith or disgrace.
وأنا منا المسلمون ومنا القاسطون فمن أسلم فأولئك تحروا رشدا وأما القاسطون فكانوا لجهنم حطبا وأن لو استقاموا على الطريقة لأسقيناهم ماء غدقا لنفتنهم فيه ومن يعرض عن ذكر ربه يسلكه عذابا صعدا وأن المساجد لله فلا تدعوا مع الله أحدا وأنه لما قام عبد الله يدعوه كادوا يكونون عليهم لبدا قل إنما أدعو ربي ولا أشرك به أحدا قل إني لا أملك لكم ضرا ولا رشدا قل إني لن يجيرني من الله أحد ولن أجد من دونه ملتحدا إلا بلاغا من الله ورسالاته ومن يعص الله ورسوله فإن له نار جهنم خالدين فيها أبدا حتى إذا رأوا ما يوعدون فسيعلمون من أضعف ناصرا وأقل عددا قل إن أدري أقريب ما توعدون أم يجعل له ربي أمدا عالم الغيب فلا يظهر على غيبه أحدا إلا من ارتضى من رسول فإنه يسلك من بين يديه ومن خلفه رصدا ليعلم أن قد أبلغوا رسالات ربهم وأحاط بما لديهم وأحصى كل شيء عددا.
14. And among us are some who have wholly submitted to God, just as there are among us whom have deviated in disobedience to God. Whoever has submitted to God wholly, then such have sought and attained to right guidance in belief and action. 15. But as for those who have deviated into obedience to God, they have become firewood for hell. 16. If they, humankind and the jinn, followed the right road of submission in Islam without deviation, we would certainly grant them water and provision in abundance. 17. We try them in that which we grant them. Whoever turns away from his Lord's reminder, his book of instruction, he will drive him into an ever-growing punishment, enveloping him in its severity. 18. All places of worship and all parts of the body which one prostrates are for God, and all worship is due to him alone. And so do not worship anyone along with God. 19. Yet when God's servant rises to pray, they, the polytheists, are all but upon him in swarms with loud derisive shouting to prevent his recitation of the Qur'an being heard. 20. Say, I worship only my Lord, and I do not associate anyone as my partner with him, 21. Say, it is not in my power to cause you harm or bring you good by guiding you to the straight path. 22. Say, no one could ever protect me from God if I were to disobey him, nor could I find refuge except in him. 23. What I can and must do is only to convey the truth from God and his messages. And whoever disobeys God and his messenger, for him there is surely the fire of hell, to abide therein forever. 24. Let them continue to see you as a few in number, and we weak and therefore belittle you. But when they see what the fire they are promised, they will come to know who is really weaker in helpers and fewer in number. 25. Say, I do not know whether your coming face to face with what you are promised is near, or whether my Lord sets for it a distant term. 26. He alone is the knower of the unseen, what lies beyond human sense perception, and he does not disclose his unseen to anyone. 27. Except to a messenger whom he has chosen and is well pleased with. He informs him of the unseen as much as he wills, and he dispatches a watchful guard before him, between him and his audience, and a watchful guard behind him, between him and the origin of revelation. 28. In order that he may establish that they, the messengers, have for a certain conveyed the messages of their Lord, he encompasses all that they have of the revelation, and he has recorded everything one by one.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها المزمل قم الليل إلا قليلا نصفه أو انقص منه قليلا أو زد عليه ورتل القرآن ترتيلا إنا سنلقي عليك قولا ثقيلا إن ناشئة الليل هي أشد وطئا وأقوم قيلا إن لك في النهار سبحا طويلا واذكر اسم ربك وتبتل إليه تبتيلا رب المشرق والمغرب لا إله إلا هو فاتخذه وكيلا واصبر على ما يقولون واهجرهم هجرا جميلا وذرني والمكذبين أولي النعمة ومهلهم قليلا إن لدينا أنكالا وجحيما وطعاما ذا غصة وعذابا أليما يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال وكانت الجبال كثيبا مهيلا إنا أرسلنا إليكم رسولا شاهدا عليكم كما أرسلنا إلى فرعون رسولا فعصى فرعون الرسول فأخذناه أخذا وبيلا فكيف تتقون إن كفرتم يوما يجعل الولدان شيبا السماء منفطر به كان وعده مفعولا إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا
Surah, the enwrapped one. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. O you enwrapped one, under the heavy responsibility of messengership. 2. Rise to keep vigil at night, except a little. 3. Half of it, or lessen it a little. 4. Or add to it a little, and pray and recite the Qur'an calmly and distinctly with your mind and heart concentrated on it. We will surely charge you with a weighty word and with applying it in your daily life and conveying it to others. 6. Rising and praying at night impresses mind and heart most strongly and makes recitation more certain and upright. 7. For by day you do have extended preoccupations. 8. And keep in remembrance in the name of your Lord and mention it in your prayer and devote yourself to him wholeheartedly. 9. The Lord of the East and the Lord of the West. There is no deity but he. So take him alone for one to rely on and to entrust your affairs to. 10. And endure patiently all that they say against you, and stay aloof from their way and part from them in a becoming manner, not as they treat you, rather with forbearance and good advice. 11. And leave me to deal with those who enjoy God's worldly blessings and yet obstinately persist in denying our revelations. We grant them respite for a little while. 12. We have set in store for the likes of them heavy fetters and a blazing flame. 13. And food that chokes and a painful punishment. 14. On that day the earth and the mountains will be violently shaken, and the mountains will be as a heap of slipping sand. 15. Surely we have sent to you, O people, a messenger, a witness against you, one who will testify in the hereafter as to your deeds in response to God's message, just as we sent a messenger to the Pharaoh. But the Pharaoh rebelled against the messenger, and so we seized him with a calamitous grasp. 17. Then how will you, if you persist in unbelief, guard yourselves against the day of which will return their children gray-headed? 18. The sky will cleft open thereby, his promise of resurrection and judgment is certainly to be fulfilled. 19. This is a reminder and admonition, and so let him who wills take a path to his Lord.
إن ربك يعلم أنك تقوم أدنى من ثلثي الليل ونصفه وثلثه وطائفة من الذين معك والله يقدر الليل والنهار علم أن لن تحصوه فتاب عليكم فاقرؤوا ما تيسر من القرآن علم أن سيكون منكم مرضى وآخرون يضربون في الأرض يبتغون من فضل الله وآخرون يقاتلون في سبيل الله فاقرؤوا ما تيسر منه وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأقرضوا الله قرضا حسنا وما تقدموا لأنفسكم من خير تجدوه عند الله هو خيرا وأعظم أجرا واستغفروا الله إن الله غفور رحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر فإذا نقر في الناقور فذلك يومئذ يوم عسير على الكافرين غير يسير ذرني ومن خلقت وحيدا وجعلت له مالا ممدودا وبنين شهودا ومهدت له تمهيدا ثم يطمع أن أزيد كلا إنه كان لآياتنا عنيدا سأرهقه صعودا
20. Surely your Lord knows that you, O messenger, rise and keep vigil, sometimes nearly 2/3 of the night, or other times half of it or 1/3 of it. And so do some of those who are in your company as believers. God determines the measure of the night and day which he has created. He knows that you, O believers, are unable to sustain such long vigils every night, and has turned to you in mercy. So recite when you do the prayer from the Qur'an what is easy for you to sustain as a regular practice. He knows there will be among you those who are sick, and other those about the land seeking of God's bounty, and still others fighting in God's cause. Recite from it then as much as is easy for you, but establish the prayer in conformity with its conditions as prescribed. Pay the prescribed purifying alms, the zakah, and lend God a good loan by spending in his cause and for the needy. Whatever of good you forward to your future, eternal life, for your own selves, you will find it with God, better and greater in reward than all that you have left behind in the world, and much increased in value. And seek God's forgiveness in all circumstances and eventualities. God is all forgiving, the all compassionate, especially towards his his believing penitent servants. Surat al-Muddathir, the cloaked one. 1. In the name of God, the all-merciful, the all-compassionate. 1. O you cloaked one, who has preferred solitude, arise and warn, and declare your Lord's indescribable and incomparable greatness, and keep your clothing clean. 5. Keep away from all pollution. 6. Do not consider your fulfillment of these orders as a kindness to God and people. 7. And for the sake of your Lord, be patient in fulfilling your duty toward God and people. 8. Then when the horn is sounded. 9. That day will be a day of hardship. 10. For the unbelievers, not easy. 11. Leave me to deal with him whom I have created alone. 12. And I enabled for him abundant wealth. 13. And children are around him as means of power. 14. And I have granted him all means and status for a comfortable life. 15. And yet he desires that I should give more. 16. By no means. Surely he has been in obstinate opposition to our revelations. 17. I will oblige him to a strenuous climb.
إنه فكر وقدر فقتل كيف قدر ثم قتل كيف قدر ثم نظر ثم عبس وبسر ثم أدبر واستكبر فقال إن هذا إلا سحر يؤثر إن هذا إلا قول البشر سأصليه سقر وما أدراك ما سقر لا تبقي ولا تذر لواحة للبشر عليها 19 وما جعلنا أصحاب النار إلا ملائكة وما جعلنا عدتهم إلا فتنة للذين كفروا ليستيقن الذين أوتوا الكتاب ويزداد الذين آمنوا إيمانا ولا يرتاب الذين أوتوا الكتاب والمؤمنون وليقول الذين في قلوبهم مرض والكافرون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا كذلك يضل الله من يشاء ويهدي من يشاء وما يعلم جنود ربك إلا هو وما هي إلا ذكرى للبشر كلا والقمر والليل إذ أدبر والصبح إذا أسفر إنها لإحدى الكبر نذيرا للبشر لمن شاء منكم أن يتقدم أو يتأخر كل نفس بما كسبت رهينة إلا أصحاب اليمين في جنات يتساءلون عن المجرمين ما سلككم في سقر قالوا لم نك من المصلين ولم نك نطعم المسكين وكنا نخوض مع الخائضين وكنا نكذب بيوم الدين حتى أتانا اليقين.
"18. He pondered and he calculated and how he could disprove the Qur'an in people's sight. 19. Be away from God's mercy, how he calculated. 20. Yeah, be away from God's mercy, how he calculated. 21. Then he looked around in the manner of one who will decide on a matter about which he is asked. Then he frowned and scowled. 23. Then he turned his back and despite inwardly acknowledging the Quran's divine origin, grew in arrogance. 24. And he said, this is nothing but sorcery of a sort transmitted from sorcerers from old times. 25. This is nothing but the word of a mortal. 26. I will make him enter a pit of hell. 27. What enables you to perceive what that pit is? 28. It leaves none but entirely burns every one of those thrown into it, nor does it spare anyone so that they might die and escape. 29. It scorches up the skin. 30. Over it there are 19 keepers. 31. We have appointed none but angels as keepers of the fire, and we have not caused their number to be anything but a trial for those who disbelieve, and those who were granted the book before may become certain that Muhammad, who explains everything revealed to him without any hesitation in the face of all antagonism and derision, is God's messenger. And those who believe may grow firmer in faith, and that both they who were granted the book before and the believers may feel no doubt at all. And those in whose hearts there is a disease and the unbelievers may say, what does God mean by this description? Thus God leads astray whom he wills and guides whom he wills. None knows your Lord's hosts except he. All this is but a reminder to the mortals so that they may take heed and act accordingly. 32. No, indeed, the Quran is not as the unbelievers claim. By the moon. 33. And by the night when it retreats. 34. And by the morning when it shines forth. 35. Surely the Quran is of the greatest of God's signs. 36. A warning for humankind. 37. For every one of you, whether he goes forward by choosing faith and good deeds or hangs back because his choice of unbelief and sin pulls him away from the straight path. 38. Every person is held in pledge for what he earns through his deeds. 39. Except the people of the right, the people of happiness and prosperity who receive their records in their right hands. God will forgive them and reward them with much more than they earned. 40. Dwelling in gardens, whose beauty cannot be perceived while in the world. They will put questions to one another. 41. About the disbelieving criminals and convey the answers they give. 42. What has brought you into the pit? 43. They will reply, we were not one of those who prayed, who turned to God in sincere worship. 44. Nor did we use to feed the destitute. 45. We used to plunge in falsehood and sin together with those who plunged in it. 46. And we used to deny the coming of the day of judgment. 47. Until what is certain to come did come upon us.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فما تنفعهم شفاعة الشافعين فما لهم عن التذكرة معرضين كأنهم حمر مستنفرة ثرت من قسورة بل يريد كل امرئ منهم أن يؤتى صحفا منشرة كلا بل لا يخافون الآخرة كلا إنه تذكرة فمن شاء ذكره وما يذكرون إلا أن يشاء الله هو أهل التقوى وأهل المغفرة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة يحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانه بل يريد الإنسان ليفجر أمامه يسأل أيان يوم القيامة فإذا برق البصر وخسف القمر وجمع الشمس والقمر يقول الإنسان يومئذ أين المفر كلا وزر إلى ربك يومئذ المستقر ينبأ الإنسان يومئذ بما قدم وأخر بل الإنسان على نفسه بصيرة ولو ألقى معاذيره لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به إن علينا جمعه وقرآنه فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنه ثم إن علينا بيانه.
"48. And so of no benefit to them will be the intercession of any who are entitled to intercede, even if they are allowed to intercede. 49. What then is the matter with them that they turn away in aversion from the reminder, the Qur'an? 50. As though they were frightened wild donkeys. 51. Fleeing from a lion. 52. Indeed, if every one of them desires that he should be given a book, particular to him opened out. 53. By no means, indeed, they do not believe in and therefore do not fear the hereafter. 54. By no means. This Quran is a reminder and admonition sufficient for all. 55. So whoever wills receives admonition and takes heed. 56. Yet they will not receive admonition and take heed unless he wills. He is the Lord of righteousness and piety and forgiveness. Surah 7, Al-Qiyamah, Resurrection, Mecca period. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. I swear by the day of resurrection. 2. And I swear by the self-accusing human soul. 3. Does human think that we will never assemble his bones to resurrect him? 4. Yes, indeed, we are able to make complete his very fingertips. 5. While human by willful choice denies what lies ahead of him, other life, but because he desires to live only as he pleases. 6. He asks, when is the day of resurrection? 7. When the eyesight is confounded through fear. 8. And the moon is darkened. 9. And the sun and the moon are joined together. 10. On that day human will say, where is the escape? 11. By no means, no refuge to flee to. 12. Dear Lord, the journey's end will be on that day. 13. Human will be made to understand on that day that good and evil that he forwarded to his afterlife while in the world, and all the good and evil that he left behind. 14. Indeed, human will be an eyewitness providing evidence against himself. 15. Even though he puts forth his excuses. 16. O Prophet, move not your tongue to hasten it for safekeeping in your heart. 17. Surely it is for us to collect it in your heart and enable you to recite it by heart. 18. So when we recite it, follow its recitation. 19. Thereafter it is for us to explain it.
كلا بل تحبون العاجلون الآخرة وجوه يومئذ ناظرة إلى ربها ناظرة ووجوه يومئذ باسرة تظن أن يفعل بها فاقرة كلا إذا بلغت التراقي وقيل من راق وظن أنه الفراق والتفت الساق بالساق إلى ربك يومئذ المساق فلا صدق ولا صلى ولكن كذب وتولى ثم ذهب إلى أهله يتمطى أولى لك فأولى ثم أولى لك فأولى يحسب الإنسان أن يترك سدى ألم يكن نطفة من مني يمنى ثم كان علقة فخلق فسوى فجعل منه الزوجين الذكر والأنثى أليس ذلك بقادر على أن يحيي الموتى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا وإما كفورا إنا أعتدنا للكافرين سلاسل وأغلالا وسعيرا إن الأبرار يشربون من كأس كان مزاجها كافورا
20. Yes, indeed, we are able to make complete his very fingerprints to resurrect him, but you people love and prefer what is before you, the present worldly life. 21. And abandon that which is to come later, the hereafter. 22. Some faces on that day will be radiant with contentment. 23. Looking up toward their Lord. 24. And some faces on that day will be despondent. 25. Knowing that a crushing calamity is about to be inflicted on them. 26. No, indeed, no doubt remains for the remaining of the present worldly life, which you prefer to the hereafter, when at the last breath comes up to the throat. 27. And it is said, is there a wizard that could save him? 28. While he who is dying is certain that it is the moment of parting. 29. And in the agony of death, one leg is intertwined with the other. 30. To your Lord is on that day the driving. 31. He did not affirm the truth of the divine message conveyed to him, nor did he do the prayer. 32. Rather, he denied and turned away. 33. Thereafter, he went back to his family in gleeful conceit. 34. So well have you deserved this doom. Well have you deserved it. 35. Again, well have you deserved it and well deserved. 36. Does human think that he is to be left to himself to go about as he pleases? 37. Was he not once a mere drop of semen poured forth? 38. Then he became a clot clinging to the womb wall, and he created and fashioned him in due proportions. 39. Then he made him of a pair, male and female. 40. Is not he who does that equally able to bring the dead back to life? Surat al-Insan, human. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. Did there pass, and surely there did pass, over human a stretch of time when he was thing not mentioned and remembered as human? 2. We have surely created human from a small quantity of mingled fluids, moving him from one state to another, and finally have made him one hearing and seeing so that he may hear God's message and see his signs. 3. We have shown him the right way, whether he be grateful and follow this way, or ungrateful and follow the way opposed to the right one. 4. We have surely prepared for the thankless unbelievers chains and fetters and a blaze. 5. The virtuous and godly will surely drink from a cup with heavenly wine flavored with heavenly additives.
عينا يشرب بها عباد الله يفجرونها تفجيرا يوفون بالنذر ويخافون يوما كان شره مستطيرا ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا إنا نخاف من ربنا يوما عبوسا قمطريرا فوقاهم الله شر ذلك اليوم ولقاهم نضرة وسرورا وجزاهم بما صبروا جنة وحريرا متكئين فيها على الأرائك لا يرون فيها شمسا ولا زمهريرا ودانية عليهم ظلالها وذللت قطوفها تذليلا فيطوف عليهم بآنية من فضة وأكواب كانت قوارير من فضة قدروها تقديرا ويسقون فيها كأسا كان مزاجها زنجبيلا عينا فيها تسمى سلسبيلا ويطوف عليهم ولدان مخلدون إذا رأيتهم حسبتهم لؤلؤا منثورا وإذا رأيت ثم رأيت نعيما وملكا كبيرا عاليهم ثياب سندس خضر واستبرق وحلوا أساور من فضة فسقاهم ربهم شرابا طهورا إن هذا كان لكم جزاء وكان سعيكم مشكورا إنا نحن نزلنا عليك القرآن تنزيلا فاصبر لحكم ربك ولا تطع منهم آثما أو كفورا فاذكر اسم ربك بكرة وأصيلا.
6. A spring from which God's virtuous and godly servants will drink their fill, causing it to gush abundantly. 7. There are those who fulfill the vow, the promises and responsibilities that they undertake, and who fear a day whose evil is extensive and encompassing everyone that deserves it. 8. They give food, however great be their need for it, with pleasure to the destitute and to the orphan and to the captive, saying, 9. We feed you only for God's sake. We desire from you neither recompense nor thanks. We desire only the acceptance of God. 10. We are surely fearful of a day from our Lord, a day of frowning and severity towards the guilty. 11. So God will surely preserve them from the evil of that day and enable them to find radiance and joy. 12. He will reward them from all that they endure, a garden of paradise and garments of silk. 13. Reclining therein on thrones, they will find therein neither burning sun nor severe cold. 14. And its shade will come down low over them, and its clusters of fruit hang down low within their reach. 15. And they will be served with vessels of silver and goblets like crystal. 16. Crystal clear, made of silver. They themselves determine the measure of the drink as they wish. 17. And there they will be given to drink of a cup flavored with ginger of paradise. 18. Filled from a spring therein called salsabil, as it flows smoothly and continuously as they wish. 19. There will go round them youths of perpetual freshness. When you see them, you would think them scattered pearls. 20. And wherever you have a look therein, you will see unimaginable delight and a great kingdom. 21. Upon those servants will be garments of fine green silk and brocade, and they will be adorned with armbands of silver, and their Lord will favor them with the service of a pure drink. 22. This is what has been prepared for you as a reward, and your endeavor has been recognized and accepted. 23. It is we who send down the Qur'an on you, O Messenger, in parts. 24. So wait patiently for your Lord's judgment, and pay no heed to the desires and caprices any of them who is a willful sinner or a thankless unbeliever. 25. And remember and mention the name of your Lord in worship in the early morning and in the afternoon.
ومن الليل فاسجد له وسبحه ليلا طويلا إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم يوما ثقيلا نحن خلقناهم وشددنا أسرهم وإذا شئنا بدلنا أمثالهم تبديلا إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله إن الله كان عليما حكيما يدخل من يشاء في رحمته والظالمين أعد لهم عذابا أليما بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والمرسلات عرفا فالعاصفات عصفا والناشرات نشرا فالفارقات فرقا فالملقيات ذكرا عذرا أو نذرا إنما توعدون لواقع فإذا النجوم طمست وإذا السماء فرجت وإذا الجبال نسفت وإذا الرسل أقتت لأي يوم أجلت ليوم الفصل وما أدراك ما يوم الفصل ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نهلك الأولين ثم نتبعهم الآخرين كذلك نفعل بالمجرمين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين
26. And during part of the night prostrate to him and glorify him along part of the night. 27. Those sinful unbelievers love and prefer that which is in advance the present worldly life and neglect a grievous day ahead of them. 28. It is we who have created them and made firm their composition, and whenever we will, we can change their structure and character entirely. 29. All this is an admonition and reminder, and so let him who wills take a path to his Lord. 30. You cannot will unless God wills. Surely God is all-knowing, all-wise. 31. He admits whom he wills into his mercy, and to the wrongdoers he has prepared for them a painful punishment. Surah Al-Mursalat, the company sent. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. By the companies of angels sent one after another for some good results, and then moving as fast and forcefully as tempests, and by those unfolding the scrolls of revelation, and serving for right and wrong to be separated with all clarity, and so bringing down the revelation in order that some may have the means to ask for forgiveness and that some may be warned. 7. Surely what you are promised is bound to take place. 8. When the stars are effaced, and when the sky is rent asunder, and when the mountains are blown away as dust, and when the time for the messengers to bear witness for or against their communities is appointed. 12. For what day has the term of all this been set? 13. For the day of judgment and distinction between people and according to how they believed and acted in the world. 14. What enables you to perceive what the day of judgment and distinction is? 15. Woe on that day to those who deny the day. 16. Did we not destroy the ancient peoples who denied? 17. So do we make the later generations of the same standing follow them in being destroyed? 18. For thus do we deal with the disbelieving criminals. 19. Woe on that day to those who deny.
ألم نخلقكم من ماء مهين فجعلناه في قرار مكين إلى قدر معلوم فقدرنا فنعم القادرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين ألم نجعل الأرض كفاتا أحياء وأمواتا وجعلنا فيها رواسي شامخات وأسقيناكم ماء فراتا ويل يومئذ للمكذبين انطلقوا إلى ما كنتم به تكذبون انطلقوا إلى ظل ذي ثلاث شعب ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب إنها ترمي بشرر كالقصر كأنه جمالة صفر ويل يومئذ للمكذبين هذا يوم لا ينطقون ولا يؤذن لهم فيعتذرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين هذا يوم الفصل جمعناكم والأولين فإن كان لكم كيد فكيدون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين إن المتقين في ظلال وعيون وفواكه مما يشتهون كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما كنتم تعملون إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين كلوا وتمتعوا قليلا إنكم مجرمون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين وإذا قيل لهم اركعوا لا يركعون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين فبأي حديث بعده يؤمنون.
28. All right. 20. How and why do you dare to deny? Did we not create you from a humble fluid? 21. Then we placed it in a firm, secure place to remain. 22. For a known preordained term of gestation. 23. Thus have we determined everything related to your existence. How excellent we are in determining. 24. Woe on that day to those who deny. 25. Have we not made the earth a receptacle? 26. Both for the living and the dead. 27. And we have set therein mountains firm, lofty in stature, and given you to drink the sweet water gushing out of them. 28. Woe on that day to those who deny. 29. Move towards the fire to which you used to deny. 30. Move towards the shadow of black smoke ascending in 3 columns. 31. It will neither give cooling shade, nor will it be of any avail against the flame. 32. It, the fire, will throw out sparks like castles. 33. Scattered abroad as if they were yellow camels. Woe on that day to those who deny. 35. This will be a day when the deniers will not utter a word. 36. Nor will they be allowed to offer excuses. Woe on that day to those who deny. This is the day of judgment and distinction between people, according to how they believed and acted in the world. We have assembled you and the earlier ones from earlier communities who were also deniers. 39. So if you have a scheme to save yourselves from my punishment, then apply it against me. 40. Woe on that day to those who deny. 41. Surely the God-revering pious will be amidst pleasant shade and springs, and fruit of whatever kinds they desire. 43. Eat and drink to your heart's content for all that you used to do in the world. 44. Thus do we reward those who are devoted to doing good, aware that God is seeing them. 45. Woe on that day to those who deny. 46. Consume the riches of the world and enjoy your life but for a little while, for you are criminals committed to accumulating sins. 47. Woe on that day to those who deny. When they are told, bow down before God in humility and worship him, they do not bow down. 49. Woe on that day to those who deny. 50. In what other word beyond this Qur'an will they believe?
Sadakallahu alazim.